Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hey, so today, well, first, happy holidays to you all. Hope everybody made it to this new year safely and y'all ready to grind and accomplish your dreams. So today, I wanted to talk to you all about if I were to repair my consumer report, what would I do first? What's the first thing I would start doing? So we're going to go step one, step by step. So, like always, anything you start off doing, you want to get as much knowledge as you can about the subject. So, consumer report being the case right now, I'd want to first know what's on my consumer report, know what's on it that's affecting it negatively, want to know why it's affecting it negatively, and how I can repair it, what I can do to remove the negative items. So first, you want to get your consumer report. You can do so multiple ways. How I get my consumer report is through a credit monitoring service. I recommend this way. This is the best way for me. Any client that I am assisting, they have to have a credit monitoring service in order for me to work with them. So if you have a credit monitoring service, you're good. If not, a free way to do it is you can go to annualcreditreport.com and request all three of your credit reports. I think you get one time per year on that website. I've tried it a few times. Each time I tried it, I wasn't able to get all three of my reports. So another way is you can create an Experian.com account, a free account with Experian.com to get your Experian, then create a Credit Karma account and get your TransUnion and your Equifax. You can do it that way. Or you can write TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax and request copies of it. The mailing addresses will be in the description below. So, and I'm sure there's a couple other ways that I'm probably forgetting right now that you can also obtain your credit report, your consumer report. So once you are able to get your consumer report, now what do? So you want to be able to identify, if you don't have a credit monitoring service, you want to be able to identify what's a negative account, why it's negative, and how you can repair it. So a lot of credit monitoring services, once they go through your credit report or whatever, they'll identify all the negative accounts. They'll tell you how you can dispute them, what you need to do, and all that type of stuff. A couple of them that I've used do it. But so if you're not using a credit monitoring service, you need to know how to identify negative accounts and why they're negative and how much they may be affecting you. So just a little quick class, just a little run through real fast. So your credit score ranges from 300 to 850. So you have 550 points to work with. It's made up of payment history, debt utilization rate, credit age, credit mix, and inquiries. So payment history is 192.5 points. Debt utilization rate is 165 points. Credit age is 82.5 points. Credit mix and inquiries are 55 points each. So that makes up your 550 points. As you can tell, payment history and debt utilization make up the most of your score. So you definitely want to make sure you understand what those are and how it can affect you. But all of them play a part. So definitely understand them all. They all are pretty important. So once you understand what each of those mean, now you want to go through your consumer report line by line and identify inaccuracies and things that are incomplete. According to 15 USC 1681I, everything has to be accurate, complete, and verifiable. So you want to go through your consumer report. That's why I recommend using the credit monitoring service, because it allows you to align all three of your reports side by side. So when you go to your Bank of America account, it's showing you your Bank of America account. Then it shows you date of last activity for all three right by each other. When you're going through, everything matters. If anything is incorrect and not accurate on each of them, on all three consumer reports, then it's inaccurate. So you highlight them. Once you highlight them, you finish that account, you move on to the next accounts. Once you get all your items highlighted, you want to make sure it's printed out, because you're going to attach this to your verification letter that you're going to send to the consumer reporting agencies. So Now that you've identified all the negative items, and you're ready to move on to your verification letter, now you create your verification letter. Your verification letter is going to say something like, hey, I received a copy of my consumer report, and I would like to have these items reinvestigated according to 15 USC 1681 I. And this is the case. So you'll list that, and then underneath there you'll have all the account information and so on. So let me hold on real quick. Let me pull this up real fast, because now we're going to get into, like, once you send off these documents, you're going to definitely want to know the timeline that you're going to be waiting, because you're going to keep all this as evidence. Once you send it off this document, you're going to send it off certified. That way you'll have a timestamp. Just a second, I'm going to share my screen with you all real fast. Well, let me share it first before I go there. So my computer pretty much shut off on me. So I don't remember where I was at on that last video. I know I was talking about creating your letter. So once you start preparing your investigation letter, you want to definitely make sure you hit up 15 USC 1681 I, just so you can understand. So you're highlighting all that information because everything must be completely accurate. It must be complete, it must be accurate, and it must be verifiable. If it's incomplete, if it's inaccurate, or if it's unverifiable, then it must be deleted. So but the treatment of inaccurate or verifiable information, if after any reinvestigation of the paragraph, information by a consumer, an item of the information is found to be inaccurate or incomplete or cannot be verified, the consumer report agency shall promptly delete that item of information from the file of the consumer or modify that item of information and appropriate based on the results of the reinvestigation, and promptly notify the furnisher of that information that the information has been modified or deleted from the file of the consumer. So that's why you want to make sure everything is 100% accurate, 100% verifiable, and 100% correct. Because if it's not, then it must be deleted. So back to once you create your letter stating that you've pretty much received a copy of your consumer report and you've seen some items that you would like to have reinvestigated according to 15 USC 1681 I. So you'll state that inside your letter, and then you'll put the account number, all the information that it shows on your consumer report for that account. You'll put that information right there underneath for each account. So once you get all that done, you get your letter written up, you send it off. Once you send it off, make sure you send it off certified. So your certification, you're sending off your certification. By sending it off certified, that's giving you evidence for the day that they received it and that they have received it. So up here it talks about the timeline. So before the end of the 30-day period, beginning on the date of which the agency receives the notice of the dispute from the consumer. They're talking about, all right, let's go up, my fault. I guess I have to read the whole thing. So if the completeness or accuracy of any item of information contained in the consumer's file at a consumer reporting agency is disputed by the consumer, and the consumer notifies the agency directly or indirectly through a reseller or through a reseller of such dispute, the agency shall, free of charge, conduct a reasonable reinvestigation to determine whether the disputed information is inaccurate, and record the current status of the disputed information, or delete the item from the file in accordance with paragraph 5 before the end of the 30-day period beginning on the date by which the agency receives the notice of the dispute from the consumer or reseller. So you get 30 days. So the 15 days, I always say you give them 30 to 45 days. But it's 30 days. So the 15 days comes from when, for example, it's right here, but I'll give you an example. So say you just submitted your dispute, and then you found some more evidence that you wanted to submit about your dispute, and you wanted to send that ahead. So once they receive that, they're allowed additional 15 days onto your 30-day period. So that gives them 45 days. So a lot of people say when you send additional things during the 30-day period, then it restarts the investigation. No, technically not. I mean, not even technically, it don't. They're only supposed to get additional 15 days. Now, if it's before 15 days has passed since you sent it, then yeah, it kind of technically starts it over and gives them additional days. But yeah, so here's that paragraph. So yeah, so anyways, I'm gonna go through this code with you all. It's a pretty lengthy code, but it has a lot of pertinent information. And I think this disability stuff is pretty pretty pertinent as well. And I say disability because usually if you're a veteran using medical debt, it's because you got a disability through the VA. So it's important for us vets to know that. I'm a veteran myself. But anyway, so you can get all that stuff off your consumer report if you have any medical debt on your consumer report and you got a disability rating. If you had a disability rating at that time. Even if you didn't, I can still get that medical stuff off just by using the HIPAA laws. But anyways, I'm trying not to get off topic. So once you send that letter off certified, you wait. So you wait them 30 to 45 days, and you'll either get a response saying that it was verified. You'll get a response saying that it was frivolous or irrelevant, which is, you can look down here to number 3, and it'll go into that, telling you what's needed from them. So if it is, I'll get into that the next video too. But so they'll tell you it's frivolous or irrelevant, or they won't respond to you. Or they'll delete it. So if it's deleted, you don't need to go on to step 2. But if it's not deleted, then you need to go on to step 2. So I'm not trying to keep it going with the filler and stuff. So with that being said, as always, stay consistent and research. You'll be rewarded. Promise you. I'll let you boy.